Given we had no real opportunity to sell the food business, we started exploring opportunities to buy another company, or we had to look at whether we would build a brand new plant. A small food producer, which was in canned fruit, big in canned meats, was Tom Piper. It was run by the Spooner family, pretty tough people, and anyway, after a lot of research, they had a big plant at Port Melbourne that was quite efficient. We worked out that we could close the three remaining plants, Sydney, Tasmania and the AJC plant, and put all our production into Port Melbourne along with Tom Piper's existing production. They were also big in orange juice and tomato juice and things. They're big tomato producers. So we made a bid for Tom Piper, and the Spooners rejected it. Next minute, a man who I got to know very well during the course of my business life at Jones & Co. was Jack Lieberman. He counterbid it. We thought it was we were being sucked in here very nicely by Archie Spooner and old Jack Lieberman. Anyway, we had no option. The cheapest option was for us to buy Tom Piper. We overbid Jack Lieberman. He came and saw me and he said, I won't bid again. And we concluded the takeover of Tom Piper in early 1974. The result of that was we were able to consolidate all our production, became highly efficient, and we were able to close down Old Wharf on both sides, the AJC plant, which you can see opposite, and the big plant in Sydney. And then we were able to sell them. In the end, we sold Old Wharf to the Tasmanian government. We sold the AJC plant. We decided we would build a jam factory. We had a huge squabble with hookers who had the air rights over the South Yarra station. It went on for about 5 years, and they were buying off the local Paran Council and stopping us getting on with our development. I had to do a joint venture with them in the end, and of course we had a wonderful opening when we finally did get the opening. The jam factory opened late in the late 70s, when Edna Everidge came out, opened the jam factory, and a big crowd of people. And after it was all over, we had George's here. It was their first move outside the city, and there's big doors inside the jam factory leading into the George's very fashionable shop. And here was this lovely set of outstanding $15,000 worth of cups and saucers and plates, etc. And what did he do? Edna, he got somebody to push him. He jumped into one of the trolleys and they pushed him straight into this. I finally died. And I said, what did you do that for? He said, you want to get some publicity? And sure enough, it was a very smart move. We had to pay George's the 15 grand, but the next day, front page on the Herald Sun, it was Edna Everidge going straight through all this stuff in George's. It was a fantastic piece of advertising for us. We struck our first real set of problems in late 74, early 75, when we found out, as we completed our accounts, that there seemed to be a lot of stock missing from the frozen vegetable business, which we operated down in Smithton in Tasmania. It turned out that I think that was untrue. It's just that our accounting systems still weren't perfect, and it picked up the fact that we were over-accounting for our profit. The result was we finished up with a loss. The CBA Bank weren't too happy, and they said, well, come on, you got us into this, you better work hard and get us out. So we really started rationalising our existing business. In 76, we sold the apple processing business to Clements and Marshall, which was our competitor in Tasmania. We also knew that we needed to get a better plant for our canned fruit business. We were very close to Kyabram, KY, preserving company, Jim Stock, wonderful man, and we decided that we would take over KY and then rationalise all our jam making and all our canned fruit processing to Kyabram. Our major opponents were then Ardmona and SPC. We used to sit on the canned fruits board with them, and they didn't worry at all because they didn't care about profit. The grower basically got whatever was left over for his fruit. whereas we had to make a profit on top of it. So Peter Scanlon and Bob Cowper, we had agreement to the bid from KY. Bob had just got a new Jaguar, and they'd stayed overnight in Shepparton, and they were going out to Kyabram to pay all the growers. There they were driving along the road, about 40 minutes drive. All of a sudden Bob's car broke down, his brand new Jaguar. So there they were stranded, all the growers were waiting at Kyabram to be paid, thinking, well, these Henry Jones guys aren't going to turn up. This fella came along in his old truck and they pulled him over, and he said, well, I'm going to Kyabram because I'm going to collect some money from the H. Jones and Co, Henry Jones. Well, Cowper said, well, I've got the chequebook here, can we come with you? So one of them sat in the front, the other one sat in the back of the truck, and that's how they got there and paid out all the growers, and we finished up with 100% of Kyabram. Now they were very good moves, and then from that time on till about 1979, we started to really run our business as well. Jeff Lord was doing a marvellous job running the hops business. I recruited him straight out of business school. Ken Jarrett was on top of the finance. Jeff also ran the timber business, and we had some good affairs there. Our timber business was very profitable. I suppose one of the funny stories, we bought across the road from H. Jones and Co in Hobart, there was a little business called Chesterman's, which was in the timber business, and was run by Aki Palfreyman's brother. And over there, if you went for morning tea, they actually would provide the tea, but you had to bring your own milk and sugar. That's how Ike they were. And with 3 other locals in the industry, we decided we would expand our timber business by buying Chesterman's and dividing it up between the other 3 local Tasmanians and Jones and Co, and we'd finance it. Well, they went over and had the negotiation, and the old Palfreyman said, okay, I'm happy to sell to you boys because you're Tasmanian. I've got a Victorian coming over tomorrow to want to buy the business, but I'm happy to sign up. That night, Bob Cowper and I went round to the casino to celebrate what was a good purchase. We only paid 2 or 3 million for it all, but it really added into our timber business and made it more and more economic. And we walked in there and we were standing at the bar. In walked Richard Neville Smith, who also had a Tasmanian timber business. He was a Victorian who we knew. He went to Scotch College a year or so earlier than Bob. So we started to talk to him. What are you doing here? So I've come down to buy this timber business. And he explained what he was going to do, that he was going to buy Chesterman's and that he reckons he'd get it fixed up in the morning, and we just goaded him on. Next morning, of course, when he got there, he found out we'd already bought it. It was a funny night, I can assure you.